Oh, I know what it... There's no text box before... Okay. Explains it. Just says, do you want Charizard, not the fire Pokemon Charizard. No, they're fine. The FAQ says that they're the top 2. I haven't, like, fully routed them, but they're definitely very good. Magmar is like 3rd or 4th best. I didn't do a run, I just did some routing. Yeah, it starts with Fire Punch, and it gets Thunder Punch. What's up, Rager? Oh, I forgot to buy antidotes. Shit. What's up, Kuzia? The FAQ lists like all of the good ones I found in order. But I haven't done any runs, so that's where I can start to refine and the order. Yeah, you can beat the game with Celebi. I won the race, but it was a bad race. Like, I got kind of lucky, didn't play well. Oh, it's not that menu yet. Probably gonna do Crystal because there's RNG manip now. Alright, I guess just... Could just buy the antidotes now. I should have done. But just picking it up will be fine. Wait, can I do that? Yeah. Maybe. I mean, Celebi isn't fast, but I mean, it is a cool Pokemon, so maybe it would be Crystal. Crystal is just way better than Gold for everything. doing? Hello? Hello? Holy shit. Alright, so getting Polly in the first ball is really nice. Because if he gets in the second ball or later, then you usually have to heal in this gym. I might still have to heal, because Rattata did 4. He normally does 3 or 0. Burn, crit, high roll. Bad. Crit. Yes. Actually, I'm still fine, right? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I fully routed it. It's a good crit. Alright, I don't know if this kills the crit. Well, that'll do. Actually, a good first split. Just, yeah, it's a Totodile Banip. And, I mean, the Anti-Manip hasn't changed, but I said I would do Crystal if either the Anti-Manip improves or Totodile Manip happens, and Totodile Manip happened. Alright, most important item in the game is this Paralyzed Berry. It's so good. No, I don't want to do that. What do I want this movement to even be? Guess we're skipping a repel. Okay, I need to remember that. HP electric. Still. Dragon is... It's interesting, but it doesn't quite get the job done. Alright. The next two spinners are really bad to hit. Good. Well, this run is good enough. I should probably save for Anthony, unless I get a really good pass. I'm just gonna save. What the? Why did the repel not wear out? Oh, it's because I don't fight a trainer. Alright, so this is where Charizard route gets fun, and a few other routes can do this. You just skip the Azalea Mart entirely because you can buy Cherry or repels. And I can buy the remaining repels that I need in Goldenrod, so I have to shop there for Fire Punch and X items. Skipping the full heal also. Now, Slowpoke well is kind of a pain, but as long as I don't get confused, I've got the antidote with this route, so... Good. I never did a Magmar run. I just did a little bit of routing. Nice. Perfect fight, basically. This is a ROM hack, as it says in the first line of the FAQ. This category is... oh my god. You use the starter, that's the rules. You use the starter, you can't switch. Because Alakazam gets Psybeam and Psychic pretty early, whereas Mewtwo has to wait until Kanto to get the Psychic TM. Nice burn. That's the main reason. There are a few others like Teleport, Experience Curve. But, like, there's so many turns that Mewtwo loses from not having Psybeam or Psychic. And the Pokemon that can one-hit these Zubats and like two-hit the Coughing, a pretty huge advantage. This is such a rough section for Charizard. Then a lot of those pokes that can one-hit the Zubats don't one-hit the stuff in the next few fights. But I love how this section is the Death Gauntlet for Totodile, and then Charizard is just so free. Alright, so if I hit Benny, the experience is useful, but it's a slow fight. Damn it. Damage actually matters. $25. So now this fight can be very annoying, but you can't die. Guess is like 40% to do something really bad. Okay. I can keep the Paralyzed Cure Berry for Claire. Yeah. Alright, and this fucker can Supersonic. Yeah. 50% to use it. Really? Alright, that might be too early. Too late, I mean. Man, I feel like Snorms the other day when he was adjusting to the lag from Gen 2, because he was used to playing like faster versions, faster ROM hacks. This is same thing for me coming from Gen 1 to Gen 2. Like, oh my god, everything is so slow. Just even text boxes lag so much. Don't need that. What's up, Permit? Thank you. Mainly it gets Psybeam and Psychic early, and Mewtwo doesn't get Psybeam at all. Doesn't get Psychic until Kanto. What am I getting here? Skip Ether, okay. Whitney isn't hard at all. It's completely free. You just have to not get critical. They're like exploded on. No, you wouldn't start with a thick club. Start with a berry. I mean, you could make that, you know, that would be kind of interesting if you allowed any poke to just have their chosen hold item, but that's not what we're doing here. Three, 1. mean, rollout, you just take one rollout and that's it. Whitney is hard. Just not for Charizard. What? Why is it there? It wasn't there in... was not there in my practice run. Why is it there now? Hello? Emulator. Yeah, that's one reason. This is a ROM hack where you start with Charizard. 250 I think is the poly record. What? Emulator is so dumb. Okay, well, this is a problem. I think I'm just not gonna play Gen 2, because if I'm gonna do these ROM hacks, it's just gonna fuck with my muscle memory because of emulator lag. Just can't win. Hey, what's up, Yama? What do you mean realistic? This is Pokemon. Do you see any Pokemon in the real world? Oh, I didn't heal. Okay. Let's just not do that. Yeah, and Not like, I don't know. I've gotten this question like 6 times already. Why don't you just start with the, like, the first stage evolution? But I very clearly state that the goal is to figure out the fastest Pokemon to beat the game with, and obviously Charmander is not going to be faster than Charizard, so I'm very confused why the question keeps coming up. Like, obviously, yeah, Pokemon games, you're generally starting with, you know, something not as strong as Charizard, but again, we're just trying to see how, like, the best Pokemon could do. We're not trying to handicap ourselves. What does that have to do with it? I mean, it's really just if you've read the FAQ or not. If you've read the FAQ, it should be perfectly clear. Because then, are you just gonna ban everything that doesn't evolve? Like, what about Girafarig? Would Girafarig be banned because it doesn't evolve, or would you allow that? And then would you allow Mewtwo because it doesn't evolve? It just becomes silly. Like, it would just be like legendaries that would win, you know, because you couldn't start with anything good because, you know, it evolved. Oh wow, ZCC. They still worth a lot? To toss. What? 3%. Why was that? Why does that need to be a rule? Like, where is it stated that we need to have Pokemon evolve? It's like I can understand why somebody would enjoy that casually, is starting with a Charmander instead of a Charizard, but like, why? I didn't. No, this stupid spinner. Well, this is not good. It's so hard to remember to get this. Alright, well now it's just fucked. God, I hate 3% spins. Like, you shouldn't see them. Like, I'm complete. This is gonna wear out like right here. Okay. How is it? Yeah, I'm gonna get at least one. Charizard doesn't really have an advantage over Cyndaquil. Unbelievable. It's, what is it, 10 here? 3 encounters. No, it wouldn't be more realistic. Have you guys ever... Do you know what the word realistic means? So in the real world, there are no Pokemon. And Santa Claus isn't real. You're just used to playing that way because most games have Charmanders and Tepigs and Chikoritas instead of, you know, Meganiums and, like... Yeah, but spinners are a part of the run, and I don't want to remove things that are in the run unless they are something that we would manipulate, since making manipulations for this is unrealistic. Like, nobody's going to be motivated to make manipulations for this. What's up, paper guy? Thanks. Any? No. We're gonna be down a headbutt if we don't get a good roll here. 'Cause that's stupid drowsy. I mean, Magmar, I would say, is an underdog poke. Magmar is not a very good Pokemon in any setting. Like, it has to have an evolution, right? Magmortar is Magmar's evolution. That's how weak it was. Yeah, I haven't actually looked at Ampharos from the start. It just has medium slow experience curve, which is really, really good. And then Electabuzz maybe as well. Yeah, Girafarig too, yeah. Although it's not that good. Girafarig is, you know, top 10 maybe, but because this gen is all about elemental punches. And they both start with one and then learn another, and Electabuzz learns Ice Punch as well. Lynch. Oh. Alright, well, we're fine as long as I don't get double Water Gun, and it's really unlikely to get double Water Gun. What's up, String Flow? Thanks. So Vaporeon is fought last because The range gets better at level 24, and you don't like want to give this thing turns, because Water Gun. Very nice. Literally perfect Vaporeon. But we are down a Headbutt, which sucks. I might do early Lighthouse. Early Strength for Lighthouse. Headbutt flinches are so nice for Chuck's Gym. Alakazam gets Psybeam very early and Psychic reasonably early, and Mewtwo doesn't get either of those in Johto, and then it gets Psychic at the start of Kanto. So there's just a huge section of the game where you have way more power with Alakazam. And they both get the Elemental Punches, which are mostly just coverage. Teleport is also useful. Well, I think you have to get rid of it for the punches. I don't know exactly when, but... Yeah, I want to look at Alakazam routing. It's so similar to Mewtwo that it's not going to be that. I want to do Nidoking next, but then I probably want to do Alakazam. I mean, you've got to look at the fastest Pokemon, right? Like, even if you don't like it. Set the standard for everybody else. Die? No. That works. That's 59% range. I do get Charcoal. I will get it in a little bit. That's cool. Well, rip everything. Rip everything. Because I didn't remember that that swap was earlier. Rip, I just lose now, don't I? I think I just lose. Oh, maybe. 4, okay, this might work. Hello? Why are Gen 2 text boxes so hard? Didn't teach Surf. should still... What? Okay. Well, at least this solves the headbutt PP problem. Alright, oof, she's a bad spinner to hit. Corsola does not really, Charizard is not like Corsola's. Final moveset, Dragon Breath, Hidden Power, Electric, Flamethrower, and Strength. That's not where I want that repel to wear off. So I guess I made it here without centering. I could, without, needing that ether. You do want EQ, you just don't have a moves for you don't have space for it in your moveset. I can do this, yeah. I mean, there's only one Houndoom after you get Earthquake. I think I have exactly enough headbutts here. If I get a bad roll. This'll die even if I growl. Yeah. Alright, so the lighthouse is fine, but the Chuck split is pretty bad. The Chuck's gym is it's not the worst place for Charizard, but it's pretty rough. Clary's gym is the worst, and then Red is also pretty bad. Yeah, I could get this ether instead of centering, but then my headbutts would be low. One headbutt? Yeah, fuck that. Ow! Holy shit. He has... It has 3 moves for me. This Meryl is... Okay. Lighthouse is actually hard. I swapped them too high. So yeah, he got the record by, what was it, 10 seconds? No. She is an awful spinner to hit. Because you don't kill her. Nope. One hit the Seeking. The battle tower is there, yeah. I have no need to go there in a speedrun, but it is there. Alright, now we can flinch everything. It's very basic, but it was still fun. Oh my god, why? Why is Fire Punch not in slot 2? Oh, this is lovely. Oh. You get Swift, and then you get good moves for the late game. And Fire type, even though the PP is an issue, it's really strong. Stab Fire move for the first half hour or so. Alright, this fucker has Rock Slide, don't you dare. Okay. He won't use Rock Slide most of the time, unless you're in kill range, but it's still very scary. Forgot to... Have you looked at what Zapdos learns? What are you doing? Do you mean, is it gonna get a faster time than the current Crystal record with Entei? Maybe. It'll be close. Ow. Alright, well, we got through that section. Didn't have to heal twice, at least. Alright, menuing time. For Alligator, oh, I forgot to rank him, but he's up there. Like top 15, I think. Oh god. No. Oh, whatever, good enough. No, actually, insane. How much lag there is. Every single time it's oh god, it's unreal how often I get encounters here. Gotten 7 encounters this run. God. This is the first run that I've done. Encounter. Yeah, we thought about HP Psychic on YouTube, but it's such a long detour. Yeah, thank you, Saber, for the lock. Anyway, I do not understand how this is, like, such a bad time. I've only, like, had, like, minor time losses. Like, didn't Snorm's Raichu runs get, like, a much, much better early game than this? But Raichu is terrible. Was it encounterless, or was it reduced encounters? I mean, this one uses repels, which are pretty similar. But, like, this is gonna not get as good of a time as his Raichu. He got a 314 with Raichu, this is gonna get, like, a 315. It's really just Thunder Punch and HP Ice instead of just HP Electric. Maybe this'll love emulator. Maybe this'll still pull out like a 313, 12. I mean, Charizard's fights other than Red are like quite a bit better than Raichu's from here on out, but it's just like you can lose so much time to red if he gets thundered. All of the time that I save until red. Alright, so we're not going to take a Pokemon Center the rest of the run, and we're going to get 1 max Ether for Kanto, but this section is going to be done without any PP healing. Here all the way, well, to the heal house, I guess that you could count as a center, but just a quick little free heal. This works out very neatly. Well, underscore did, yeah. All you need to do for changing the starter is download the Bombstoo's randomizer. You can just Google it, and then it has an option for customizing the starters. This specific hack that like adds repels to Cherry Grove and makes the starter stats perfect. Unbelievable. Oh, I love Gen 2. So yeah, this was made by Underscore, and he just sent them to me and posted them in my Discord. The Wild West. $10? Oh my god. Wow. What do you mean pause glitch? I think so, yeah. Yeah, water types aren't great. Pausing doesn't change his, that should be, that doesn't matter. Pausing doesn't change his movement. It just gives me reaction time. So these can live, it's like 2 or 3% chance for them to live. But we don't want to waste the flamethrowers here. Need every one of them. This is one of the benefits of the charcoal as well, as making sure these all die. Or, you know, increasing the range from 80% to like 90, whatever it is, 97. That is insane that that missed. God, it's... Why is that there? What the hell is this inventory? Man, Gen 2 is just dumb. Anyway, Douglas is always stuck because we're gonna manipulate him in runs eventually. Oh, what's up, Firehouse? Thanks. Electric 70. Magmar. A lot of Pokemon actually get ice. Do I recommend it? No, but I don't like recommend not to watch it either. Like I gave it what 6.5 out of 10, but like it wasn't bad. It was more that there weren't really that many things that were good about it. Other than it's like, oh, you know, this is a pretty mature topic for an anime, and they didn't treat it casually at all. They took it seriously and they showed some, you know, some realities. But they didn't really tell the story in a compelling manner, so, like, as far as entertainment, it was just flawed in a lot of ways. Is the topic a spoiler? No. I mean, you can look up the... There's nothing really, like... It's not like Doki Doki in terms of the... Like, you gotta be careful about every single thing you say to somebody who hasn't played it. It's... Alright, hold on. Attack. I mean, the main topic is bullying. So, you know, there's... The main character is a bully. And so that it's told from his perspective, but also, you know, focuses on the girl who was bullied, who is deaf. And yeah, that's... I mean, it... It's not, like, the most exciting, that's for sure. It is interesting to explore. I didn't think that the movie did a great job of it. Honestly, the reason I watched it is I'd heard great things about it, and I just wanted to know, like, okay, how is this, you know? Everybody keeps praising, and it's like, okay, you know. I can see why people liked it, because just the topic is one that maybe hits close to home for some people, and I mean, there are some mature themes within that, but like it wasn't that entertaining because the characters weren't developed properly, in my opinion. But I've heard that the manga that it's based on did a much better job of that. I don't know, I just think anime movies for me are just not... I don't enjoy them as much as series. Because I always feel like it wasn't enough time. I always feel like the pacing isn't great. Alright, I get 37 for Muck, I think, because I hit the spinner. So that range goes up from 45 to 69%. Am I watching anything else? Right now, not at like this moment. So Gunnar and I finished up ReZero last night. And then we're gonna start Monogatari. Monogatari. However you say it. Next. I don't know when that's gonna be exactly. And that will probably take a while, because there's a bunch of content. But I'm also going to try to knock off some other stuff on my list. Okay, got the range. No, I've not heard of that. Yeah, it's just like I have enjoyed like actual movies, you know, Hollywood stuff. And I've watched so many of like the good movies that there's like not that many left. So, you know, that's one reason that anime is appealing. It's like I've never watched any anime, so I get to try this new thing. But, you know, comparing the anime movies I've seen to the real life movies with actors, I've enjoyed anime movies a lot less, but comparing like TV shows and, you know, whether it's dramas or comedies to anime series, anime wins. This is quite a lot of damage. I mean, how long is it? Gunnar said it's somewhere around like 65 to 70 episodes worth, but some of those are movies, some of those are like short movies, some of those are like 10-minute episodes. It varies. It's a weird show from what I can tell. It's not really about anything, and it's not really formulaic, and it's not really chronological. It just sort of exists and it's really good. That's what I've heard. But Gunner's anime taste and mine have pretty closely aligned so far. The main exception is Gunner says, you know, I just like any anime, you know, even if I watch something bad, I'll be happy that I watched it. And so I think his expectations aren't as high, and he just gets more general enjoyment out of it. As far as the types of anime, we've been pretty closely aligned so far, and that's Monogatari's his favorite. He rates it a 9.9, so... So this section is one of Charizard's best. Flamethrower early is amazing, and then Wing Attack for PP. And then it's followed by Claire's Gym. Visual quality, maybe. I think plot, development, plot coherency, character development has been considerably better. Especially character development. It's been considerably better in series. You don't really have that much time. It's like anime relies so much more heavily on character development than, you know, traditional shows, real life. Real people shows. Because, like, it's just harder to become attached to pixels than it is to an actual person on screen. I mean, I know they're both pixels. It's just harder to become attached to animation, so it really has to sell you on the characters, and a lot of animes do a good job of that. I think this is late for me, not early, but whatever, it works. So yeah, like movies, I've found just like not enough time. It's just, you have to tell this story, and it has to, you know, have a beginning, middle, and end, and you've got 2 hours to do it, and, so the plot comes first, and then visuals seem to be more, you know, emphasized, and then the characters are like, you know, they you might like them, but they're pretty superficial. Like, I just get the sense with a few of the, like, the movie adaptations. So, Madoka, I mean, Steins Gate was just whatever, I mean. Steins Gate is not at all a show driven by visuals, so... But, like, Steins Gate, and then No Game, No Life, and what was the other one? I guess just those two, which were, like... based off of the show that came first, it seemed like they were trying a lot harder with the visuals, but like not nearly as hard with the characters. And so that's not like, I'm not saying that is a criticism. It just seems like they focus more on that people watch anime movies because they want to see... I don't know. Like, I don't watch anime for dazzling visuals, but I mean, I guess it helps. I really just... I enjoy getting into characters. And interesting premises. You know, stuff like Death Note's premise is just so good. Can't do that. You know, that's something that anime can do best. And there it is. Lovely. That's not good. Cannot remember my move order. I just cannot do it. Just cannot remember. I don't think that the word esport should exist. But this gets into this stupid discussion about what a sport is. It's like some people will say, I think chess is a sport, and it's like, well, it's not a sport, but who fucking cares? What a dumb discussion to have. You know, when we say something is or isn't a sport, we're not saying, you know, oh my god, I'm going to die, dude. Oh, I'm actually going to die. Wowie. Started as a Charizard. Like, no, you know, saying chess isn't a sport isn't to say that chess isn't, it's nothing against chess at all. It's just, it's like, it's just the wrong term, right? It's like if I were to call Misty, Gunner's English Mastiff, a cat. I love cats. But the fact that Misty is not a cat and is in fact a dog doesn't, you know, it doesn't change who Misty is. Dogs are dogs and cats are cats. Sports are sports, and other competitive activities like chess and video games are not sports. But if somebody is like, well, a sport doesn't have to involve physical, you know, just whatever, man. If that's what you think, it doesn't really matter. It's not a discussion worth having, so, you know, I don't agree with the term esport, really, because, oh man, here. Because it doesn't really, you know, video games don't really align with what the definition of sport is, but if that helps give video games credibility, then fine. Man, what's up, Chen? No, but sport is not just any competitive... It's not just competition. Like, we don't say that competitive Scrabble is a sport. We don't say that, you know, cribbage is a sport. We don't say that poker is a sport. Well, I guess some people do say that poker is a sport. It is on ESPN all the time, after all. But again, if you think it's a sport, it doesn't really matter. It's literally just the definition that in the dictionary. Can't believe I have 53 health right now. That's what the hell. Darts is a sport, yeah. Physical exertion and skill. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much how I define it. It's like, are there things like hand-eye coordination and mobility, as opposed to like chess is just your brain. That's literally all that it is your brain. Speedrunning is technically using like your fingers and stuff, but then that's like, you could say there's lots of things that you do just using your fingers, right? Point is, like, some people, for whatever reason, don't actually think sport has to do with physical. It's not even, like, physical, because when we think physical, we think about, like, you know, basketball, football. It doesn't have to be like that. It's, you know, maybe physical is the right term, but things like, you know, a lot of it is just, like, hand-eye coordination, as opposed to just, like, problem-solving, brain power stuff. So I don't know the best way to define it exactly, but you know, some people just don't have that as part of their definition, but they're not, you know, it's not because they want something to be included. They're like, oh, this is a sport too. It's just, that's their definition. Just like the stupid discussion we had on stream about the word admire like 3 weeks ago. I mean, it's all just semantics. So, you know, my definition of a sport doesn't align with what speedrunning is, like, at all. It's just, it's one of many competitive and, you know, individual activities. I mean, it's a competitive activity, but the competition also is often, like, with yourself, as opposed to directly competing against someone. Okay. I knew I'd forget to split. Damn it. Okay, did I get both candies? I don't think I did I? I think I forgot one. Or maybe I didn't. Well, we're going to find out. And I've been following my notes pretty religiously, so hopefully my notes didn't fuck me. I'm actually going to die. This is impressive. I've gotten every single quick attack on this split. I think this will just have to be another run. I don't know. What's wrong with just... What's wrong with just competitive gaming, or competitive video gaming, if the word gaming isn't enough, you know? Anyway. So competitive gaming, should speedrunning be... I mean... my opinion is that speedrunning is a superior form of gaming to all other forms that I have, you know, that I know of. There's other ways that people play video games that I don't know of because they're too niche, or... maybe they are popular in Japan, but I've never been to Japan. I don't speak Japanese, so I'm not aware of it. But every form of gaming that I'm aware of, speedrunning is superior to, objectively, in my opinion. Objectively, in my opinion. I think if you look at the objective criteria, you know, for what, you know, from like a psychological standpoint, you know, speedrunning is superior, so I think it should be considered above. But not many people agree with that. And I think one of the reasons for that is just that more people are more social, so they'll enjoy, you know, gaming with other people, as opposed to speedrunning, which is largely individual. That is the wrong move. Cool. Just doesn't... Alright, well... What the hell does being elitist have to do with it? Oh, I got the crit, not the... That is a range, one in... Or... It's not saying that, like 95% of people just cannot afford to put time into speedrunning. But that, like, you can't say, oh, because this thing requires time in order to be rewarding, then it's not good. That just means that it's not for everybody. But if, you know, if something were to become popular enough, then suddenly putting time into it isn't such a practical problem. And, so like, you can't say that just because speedrunning takes a lot of time and has a little bit of a, you know, an entry barrier problem, which is largely just a problem with individual communities. You can't say that, like, oh, that speedrunning isn't good then. Alright, hold on, what am I doing here? There. But in terms of, like, it's hard for me to explain right now when I'm trying to read notes, but like, speedrunning is the most challenging thing, and you don't have to worry about finding people to play against. You can always, you know, but you can, if you want to race people, if you want to route with people like that, you can immerse yourself in the social aspect of speedrunning. It can be a very social activity if, you know, just like with anything, if you find others who share, you know, the interest. But it also, it can push you on an individual level, and you test your creativity. Yeah, I mean, people are gonna have different opinions, and that's... My opinion is largely based on the fact that, like, multiplayer games, I just never found people to play against who... What? Okay. Should have worn out by there. Like, it was... Like, I just never found people to play against who shared my interests. Or, like, I would find somebody and then that would, you know, like, just trying to find somebody to play on Pokemon Showdown, trying, you know, find somebody to play Melee against, you know, it was just a constant struggle, because, you know, it's like playing against computers, just trying to get good at Melee by practicing against the computer is just not fun or rewarding or challenging, right? If your goal is just to get good at the game, like, you're getting good as in, like, you can beat other players, so you have to find other players, and it's just hard to find other players. If you could constantly play against anybody that you wanted, and you know, and that... But it's really hard to maintain that, even if you do have people that you can, you know, that you can play against regularly who are of your skill level, that are of equal skill level and share your interest. Share your interest in the activity. Like, it's going to get stale, you're going to want to play against other people, so, so it's kind of like, it just depends on your own experience. Like, maybe the best form of speedrunning is just racing Montebank and Keyzeron and company and Crystal randomizers all day, but guess what? That stopped happening because Montebank died, Keyzeron got addicted to speed choice, and Sinstar got bored with, like, people just move on. Like, you know, any form of multiplayer gaming, it's just really hard to maintain what makes it fun at the start. You know, in online games, like waiting for people on, you know, on the server to trying to find somebody. It's just I see nothing except frustrating, slow forms of gameplay. So I'm not seeing evidence that it can really be that engaging. Waiting for someone else to take their turn or things like that. Just gonna do this. Ooh, that is a really good crit. Okay. Yeah, it's a very subjective thing, but like when I say like objectively, it's not just saying like, oh, I'm saying that because it's not just I have more fun speedrunning. It's like it's just there are more things that are, you know, more tangible rewards from speedrunning, I think. So it's like you play your friend in a multiplayer game, or you play someone online and then like you beat them, and so what? Like, you know, a lot of it is just a lack of organization, but I mean, in speedrunning, just the concept of, you know, trying to PB, trying to find new strats, new routes, new techniques. Oh my god, I crit the Kingdra too! Wow, that is like the best gym you can have. Yeah, they do exist, but not in the same way as speedrunning. I have not Fire Hills. Why do I have to do it right away? It's been like a day, 2 days. Yeah, like I can't really get into like the objective reason. I can't make a convincing argument for speedrunning objectively being better without getting into deeper discussions that are probably well outside of the scope of what I can really explain right now. But there's like, you know, we play video games for fun, so it doesn't, you know, really matter. Speedrunning will get the coverage and become bigger if more people do it. More people will do it if it's fun. Well, it has worse stats when you consider its experience curve, or effectively worse stats, and much, much worse moves. But wing attack is pretty based, like starting with wing attack. But like not getting like good fire moves is gonna really hurt later. Fuck. Forgot that I have to do that movement. It turned, didn't I do 2 p.m.? And now it's nighttime. It's thrown me off, man. What am I supposed to do? I want to try Nidoking, I want to try Alakazam, I want to try Magmar and Electabuzz. Maybe Girafarig. Oh, I almost crit that too. Very nice. Anyway, like, to kind of wrap up the discussion about, like, different forms of gaming, I think the crucial thing is that, like, if you want to become, like, if you're just casual, then just do what's fun. Like, right, if you're just, you know, if you're just casually gaming, then it's just, you just play games casually. Like, there isn't really a form of gaming if you don't have time to do more video games. A lot of people, you know, they'll play video games maybe 10 hours a month. Like, you can't do anything with video games. They're too complex. Like, you can't become good at video games, so you're just playing them casually, you know, and there's limitations to that. But if you're gonna try to become good, then it's really hard to become good at more than one thing. You know, it's just like LeBron James could play football. He could be a pro football player, and you know, I don't know how good he would be relative to the best, but he could do it. Like, he's a freak, you know, an athletic freak, and he's an intelligent player, and he could do it. But he's focusing on basketball. I mean, the same thing is actually true of a ton of athletes, where they are good enough and they receive scholarship offers for multiple sports, and like, they could definitely go pro in multiple sports. It's not like the one that they choose is the only one that's viable. Like, they're that, you know, athletic, or they're that tall, or whatever, and you have to choose one. So with gaming, you know, if you speedrun, you can't really competitive game. If you or, you know, you can't, like, you know, be a top melee player. If you're a top melee player, you can't be a top speedrunner. Like, it just takes too much time to actually be good at a competitive form of gaming. So yeah, and then during that time he didn't play basketball. Alright, pussy strats! I really don't, actually, you know, we're skipping these, fuck it. You really don't need them this run, because I have, like, so many hyper potions. Like, I'm saving for red anyway, because I can actually die to red. Professional gambler. Yeah, like, it's not to say that you can't be talented at multiple things. There's a difference between being talented and actually putting in the time. Like, it doesn't matter how talented you are if you don't actually learn and practice and measure yourself against the other, you know, top competitors, and you're not gonna actually become a top player. Like, if I put the kind of, dang it, Jinx first loses time, because I can't wing attack it. If I put the kind of effort into, like, Gen 4 and learning and making manipulations and stuff that, like, Worcester did, I would get better times than him. But I'm not putting that time in because I'm focusing on early gens, and the same thing could be said about, like, Worcester. For early gens, like, why does Worcester not have any good times in the first 3 gens? Because he doesn't put his time into them, even though we know from the past that his routing is superior to just about everyone's, and his execution, well, at least on keyboard, is, like, unbeatable, and his execution on console is good too. He's still not a top Gen 1 to 3 runner because he doesn't put the time in. And so yeah, like, I could appreciate competitive gaming more if I put the time into it, but then I wouldn't put the time into speedrunning. All these items. Good. So then it's like, which one am I gonna choose? Like, I could probably be like a top competitive gamer just because I'm so competitive and I would be willing to put in the time. But that involves a social aspect, and like you have to find people to play against, and you know, speedrunning was just, oh my god, again. Oh, this could be very bad. Okay, let's see, 76% range. So yeah, like, speedrunning is better for me, but it's not to say like, oh, you know, being a pro Melee player or, you know, pro League player is just degeneracy, and speedrunning is the only way to play. It's just, one is a little bit better than me, and I think speedrunning is underrated, for sure. Yeah. This really falls under the category of, like, people who do it have to, like, speak up for what they do and say why it's good. Because you can't speak for others. So I'll vouch for speedrunning while acknowledging that my opinion is not fully informed. I have been planning to run Gen 4 and 5 for 2 years, I just don't have the money to buy capture equipment. And I do have other games to play, so I can do that until I do get the money. In Fire Hills, I think with Sonic, Worcester doesn't get that a ton of competition. Like, he's good at Sonic, but I don't think those games are, like, terribly competitive. Like, he has, like, 50 Sonic records. I mean, ILs count, but... all of the equipment, like... 150 plus. Probably closer to 150, yeah. Yeah, well, most speedruns are execution heavy. Like, if they're not luck heavy, then they're probably execution heavy. Anyway, your question about what times the starters are capable of, I would say, like, a lot of them are going to get around 310. Alright, this fight is rough. Yep, this round's great. Oh, Sonic has lots of tricks. Lots of cool stuff they can do. It's just a question of, like, are the best times in Sonic, like, how low have they been pushed? Like, how clean are the runs? Oh, I got the Umbreon crit! Get wrecked. So good. No Confuse Ray, no Sand Attack. Alright, now this Gengar is, what, 66%? I remember. Nice. Just need to not get a Troll Houndoom. Yeah, the thing with Worcester is, like, he he actually does play a ton of games. So when I talk about him not having time, it's like, well, he has time to get, you know, to be good and to route games, but... Oh, I almost crit the Houndoom too. Alright, don't do it. Nice, perfect, Karen. Yeah, when you run like 50 games, you're not gonna necessarily get great runs, you're just gonna get to play a lot of games, which is fun and helps keep your mentality fresh and helps keep you at your best. Thanks, Raffle. Okay. So we'll just save here. Alright, whatever. I forgot to teach the moves. You've gotten such good luck since, Claire's Gym. Red bar. Alright, 86% range on the level 50 Dragonite. Obviously dead if I miss it. You've already died once in this run to Whitney, but it was a very fast death. This is HP Electric 70. Waitlist? You mean what speedrun? What games am I gonna speedrun coming up? That is such a bad range to miss, because he comes out last. Gold, crystal, red. Sapphire, emerald. XD, heart gold. Gen 5. A lot of games. But yeah, I want to do the... Wait. I want to do gold with Totem Manip, of course. Main yellow whenever Pidgeotto Manip happens. Love the steep head. I don't know, like, Gen 2 fucking hurts my hands, man. Like, it's not, like, physically painful, it's just uncomfortable. So even though I want to try the new stuff in Gen 2, and the new stuff in Gen 3 hasn't really been finalized yet, I might skip out on that. I know, I am definitely a little bit irrationally afraid of the viewer drop if I do Sapphire, just because historically Sapphire has been by far the worst game for viewership on my stream, Gunner's stream, and Keys' stream, and I just, like, I don't want to have to deal with the stress that I had a few months ago over, like, not really declining viewership, but, like, declining sub count. It's just mentally really, really taxing when I'm, like, trying to... When I'm given such an opportunity by, you know, by Gunner here to, like, get my stream going and try to make money off of it so I can, you know, do it for a living, and, you know, to see it go in the opposite direction is just hard, and I don't want to have to deal with that, even though it probably won't be that big of a difference. The other thing is, like, I have so much practice to do, like, so much practice if I'm gonna do Sapphire, like, at least a week of just dedicated practice. I mean, maybe I can skip out on it because PB is so free, but I'd really rather not. Like, Gen 3 is just so important to bike well. So, I mean, I want to run it, but I have a few things that I have to sort out. I have no idea what... Where am I? Why Sapphire doesn't sell? Power plant. Wait, this is order. Okay. Yeah, I just said I want to do Gen 4, but I don't have the money for capture equipment. It would be like 2-3 minutes. No, Sapphire, it'd be like 3 minutes slower without any bike. It's just a weird thing in general. Like, there are quite a few speedruns that I have some interest in, and like probably more interest than Pokemon right now. Not because I don't like Pokemon, but because I've been on a pretty serious Pokemon grind for like the past 7 months or something. Pretty much non-stop grinding of attempts and routing, and at a high level, you know, not just well, okay, this is fucking around, right? Unbelievable. That's fucked. 5% spin. I can skip X special on Misty. Yeah, this is fucking around with Pokemon. So when I've been fucking around, it's been fucking around with Pokemon. And then I've also been, you know, seriously going for a good time, so... I want to do, you know, a few other games, but it's just like, if I do them, then it just kills the stream. Like, it's not like... I just can't do it. Like, I cannot... My stream cannot survive at all if I play those games. So, you know... It's not even an option. I would have to try to balance it with Pokemon, which I find very difficult to do. But, like, I am having fun with the games I'm running for the most part. Like, one of the things that I'm trying to do with this project and the Gen 1 project, and then I might do Gen 3 as well, is just kind of find something that isn't so damn stressful, like grinding for records in Pokemon. That is still, still reaches a wide audience. So it's Pokemon, and it's playing through the game, and it's still, like... You know, it's still, like, it's playing the game, right? So people don't want to see practice, people don't want to see routing, because you're not playing the game. But this is still playing the game, it's just playing a ROM hack that is, you know, but it's speedrunning based, so people still, you know, it's not just casual. So it hits on a lot of the, popular things with almost none of the stress that goes into PB world record attempts. Because, like, I do, for whatever reason, like, I can't even say objectively that much why I just love playing Pokemon so much. It's not like I found that this, you know, like, some people are just absolute fanatics with Pokemon, and they collect everything, and they, you know, anytime a new game comes out, they're just absolutely going, you know, reaction videos and live tweeting the event where the game is being announced, and they're just all over it. And I'm not into that at all, but I still get so much value out of playing Pokemon for the past, you know, 17 years or whatever. So it's great, you know, that Pokemon is popular, and yet I enjoy it, and I enjoy it in a, you know, emulator, in a meaningful enough. As meaningful as you can from playing a children's video game. You know, it's not just shiny hunting or, you know, casual or, you know, battles with viewers. I mean, those things are very fine, but also, you know, it's basically just pandering to the popularity as opposed to doing something that's personally rewarding, so yeah. I don't think there will ever be a point where I'm just, like, sick of Pokemon. I just might get sick of grinding for good runs because of the mashing and the RNG. Because there's always going to be somebody out there who's willing to spend hundreds of hours just purely playing for good luck. Just like part of human nature, for whatever reason, people don't mind doing that, but I do. It bothers me a lot when I get on long grinds, or it's just trying to get lucky as opposed to trying to improve and, you know, trying something new, like a new route. And there's always going to be people who are younger and their hands hurt less because they're younger and they can mash faster. So at a certain point I'll probably have to think about not competing so hard because of those two things, but I'll still find ways to enjoy Pokemon. Life after Pokemon? I don't really consider my life to be Pokemon. I just consider Pokemon to be the games that I happen to enjoy. Like I said, I'm not really that emotionally attached to it. I have plenty of other, like, gaming interests. But I mean, again, I don't really see myself like I don't really see a life after Pokemon. I don't see a reason that Pokemon would have to go away. Just take breaks, maybe not do it as hard as I'm doing it now. Oh, Saffron. I mean, it's not like, it's really like speedrunning, not Pokemon. It's not like I was playing Pokemon that much before I got into speedrunning. It's really speedrunning that got me back into Pokemon. I don't play like, casual play is a temporary thing. You play a game casually maybe a few times, you know, anywhere from once to like 4 times you'll play a game casually, and then if you play it after that, it's not going to be casual anymore. It's going to be your you know, if you sometimes like let's make a parallel to anime here, right? So if you really love an anime, you might want to watch it like dozens of times. But after the first 2 or 3 watches, you're not watching it anymore because of, like, you know, the suspense. You're watching it because you appreciate it, right? So, like, when I watch Madoka Magica, the anime, a 4th time, I'm gonna be looking at it from more of, like, a critical eye. See, like, alright, what does it do really well? What are some of the weaknesses? How can I understand, you know, this more holistic manner? Or, you know, like, playing a drinking game. That's another way to add, like, rewatch value or replay value, right? You're doing something more than playing a game casually. If you're playing it, you know, more than a few times, so it's not something you do regularly. So with Pokemon, it would be, you know, it was after a while I would try to get the best teams for, like, the Battle Tower or the Battle Frontier. That was the goal, to try to win, you know, to try to get all the symbols, or, you know, try to win as many as possible. Or, you know, speedrunning, try to beat the game as fast as possible. Or like when I played Zelda, I would do things like, you know, the 3-heart challenge, or, you know, other various, you know, 100%, try to collect all the items. Anyway, yeah, what game recently? Well, let's see, what have I played recently? I mean, it would probably Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, which was like a 1.5 years ago. But it would have been Danganronpa if I had played that. Instead, I watched a YouTube YouTube uncommentated playthrough. I got the range. Gold Symbols is just, it's just 20 hours. And it's hard to do that, to play for 20 hours in a row. And it's not a one-time thing, because if I want to get a time that I'm happy with, I'm probably gonna have to do like 8 runs. That's how much. That's like how long it'll take on average for me to get a time that I'd be happy with. So 160 some hours. I just don't have like the physical energy for that right now, but I do want to do it eventually. Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories might be like the most I've enjoyed a game casually since I was like really young, and then you just... You can't really compare what you played as a kid to what you played as like a young adult or adult. Just the first... it's just surreal. Playing games as a kid. And alright, I don't know if I'm gonna get the level here for Starmie. Like, nothing will beat like playing Pokemon the first time. It's just like, holy shit, video games are fun, Pokemon is really fun. Just like no visual novel is gonna top Danganronpa 1, because I was totally not expecting it to be so fucking good. Like, wow, this medium that I've not explored, or this genre that I've not explored, is actually extremely engaging, and I'm so invested. Alright, this should level... yeah, 3... okay, so I'm gonna skip the X special here. Unless... I'll just use Amnesia. Oh no. Use Amnesia! Worst fight. Yeah, I would have leveled, but I didn't want to take a Lapras Surf. Does this kill me? 111? This might actually kill me. Please just get the range. 95% range. And that would be cool, but again, it's a different experience as an adult. As a kid, you are so sheltered from reality that video games just appear to be way more fulfilling. They just are, like... They just are way more fulfilling as a kid. Alright. And Bellsprout. Did I get the machine part? Yeah. As opposed to loudly tassing. Please don't hit this spinner too. Mewtwo gets Psybeam and Psychic really early. Mewtwo doesn't get Psybeam and it doesn't get Psychic until Kanto. Like, I need to heal at some point. For Blaine. Alright, so this fight is just lovely with Charcoal. Just 3 flamethrowers, no damage ranges. And this is one of the reasons that I get 2 rare candies, even though it's kind of slow. Why does Sabrina talk for like the longest of any gym leader in Gen 1 and 2, even though in the anime she like never talks? Wow. Wow. No. Unbelievable. No. Holy, that was 40 seconds, basically. I just hit him, basically. I just hit the spinner, but I didn't actually fight him. I think that was basically the same amount of time that it takes to actually fight him. I don't even know what to do now. PP is tight. Guess I don't want to heal here because how many hyper potions? Maybe I should have bought full restores. Because I healed once for Claire, like. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of flexibility with the gym order, so I mean, some of it is just based on like movement, and if you try to do it in a different order, you're gonna lose a ton of time to movement, but like Brock you can do later and it only loses a second. Blue you can do you know, like you don't have to do Blue last, you can do him at any point after having talked to him on Cinnabar Island. I mean, you can do the gym leaders in any order actually, like it's but you know, there's some, like you're always going to do like Janine right after Blaine. If you don't, it loses like 40 seconds. Dragon Breath saves a lot of time in Kanto with super effective text boxes. You don't, or not very effective. You don't have to flamethrower the rocks. You don't have to flamethrower like Paris and execute. I mean, you can strength some of them, but not all. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do about healing items. I kind of fucked myself with the skipping full restores for no good reason. I mean, I don't know. This is HP Electric 70. Might repel already wore off, so... Ah. Stupid. Really don't want to blow this hyper potion. But I'm gonna have to do 2 anyway. We just need to not get any thunders from Pikachu. Like, this is completely fine. Red is so stupid for Pokemon that are weak to thunder. Never stuck. Alright, so this is the fight where we wish we had Earthquake, but it's like the only fight where we wish we had Earthquake, so we're just gonna do it without Earthquake and save the time of teaching it and getting it. This is completely free if it just uses Curse. Bad. Am I dead to Thunder Punch? I don't think so. No, I'll survive. Hello? That has happened now twice. But this is a range. Alright, so can we get sub 310? I don't think so. We are gonna actually get a better time than Raichu. I just underestimated Charizard's late game. Underscore or Snorms. What was the Raichu time the other day? I don't remember exactly what it was. I know Storms had that one initial run that didn't finish because he got like destroyed by Red, or he like didn't have enough X specials for Red or something. So he like just saved the splits and then he completed an actual run with a better route. So just curious to know that time. Wow. So Raichu is pretty good then. I have to move him up. I gotta fucking heal here. I mean, I got extremely bad luck here to get both Rock Slide and Surf. I mean, I guess that's like 20% likely or something. Yeah, but Raichu also has Trash Special. So do I have... I don't have any Hyper Potions left. What the fuck, man? God. Should've just centered. So you just can't... See, it's so dumb, because, like, I just need to not get any, just need to not get any Thunders. Should I just YOLO Red and not take the center? Like, and just, I'm gonna save anyway. I think I might just do that. Like, fuck centering. Into critical, or just lose this fight. Why am I short though? Short a flamethrower. And again. Why am I short? What the hell did I use it on? And 4. Or wait, I had 9. Maybe that's fine. One, 2, 3. Yeah, I guess we're fine. Oh man, 62 for Arcanine, but I can't Thunder Punch it. Rain? What? Is it raining outside? Oh yeah, it is. Haha. My headphones on, didn't hear. Alright, so red is a very shit fight, but it's about 40% that it goes off without any problems. I mean, it's basically 40% per try for me to win, because I'm gonna not take the center, so I'm gonna be... It's like if I centered, then I'd have one Hyper Potion. Like, you might need 10, so why bother getting one? I think I got maximum damage in Kanto. Every single thing that could possibly damage me, including the Pidgeotto, damaged me. Rapidash missed, I guess. No, I didn't miss any ranges like the Lapras. So. Alright, red Manip. So if I get hit by Thunder, I have to reset because I have no Hyper Potions. Nope, he just keeps using Thunder until he's out of PP. Yeah, it was about 80%. 75%. It's not over yet. 14% basically to die to this. Alright, now it's over. So this was 2 spinners, which is not really good when Douglas is stuck, but it's average. Can actually Dragon Breath this, probably. Alakazam, probably? Yeah, sub 310 can definitely happen with Charizard. It's like 5% chance for it to use Body Slam. this was maybe a little bit worse than I thought, but like I died twice, so. Died to Whitney and died to Red. I think sub 305 is technically possible with this. Yeah, Charizard is not... Like, I thought for a bit that Charizard would be, like, really, really good. Because of, like, PP, early Flamethrower, Dragon Breath, good stats, typing. Typing ends up being kind of bad, honestly. Like, it's nice in a few places, but overall, just getting thundered is really fucking bullshit. So I don't think Charizard's top 5, and it honestly might not be top 10, but